Hey everyone, so today I am doing a video on how I made these little first day of school flags for my kids this year. I decided I was going to use construction paper, cardstock, skewer sticks to make this, and it turned out really cute, but it was a little bit of time consuming, so if you've got multiple kids, it takes a little bit of time. At least my method took a little bit of time because of the letters, and I just used cardstock, so I had to glue all the letters onto my flag. But first of all, I designed the triangle to visualize the size of the flag, which my finished flag made out of construction paper was going to be 10 by 6. So I made a flag that would fit exactly in my construction paper. So my text, you could see I had an inspiration picture, and I just kind of used the fonts that I had to design it the way that I like it. Now here's one thing. I used for the first day, I want to say typewriter text. If I had used calligraphy text, it would have all been attached in one piece, like the word grade, and it would have been so much easier to do that rather than gluing letter by letter, but it did turn out really cute, so I'm not complaining. But if you want to make it easier on you, do a calligraphy font, and it'll just be one piece that you would be gluing on. So just something to keep in mind. So once you have your finished design for your flag, you can go ahead and copy and paste it and just modify it to the other kids' grades, which is what I did here. I had second, fourth, and preschool flags to make today. So like I said, I used that triangle just as a reference to see how the text would fit. And on white cardstock, I printed out my letters. And this is it going on my Cricut machine. You can tell it's a little bit of an older model, but it's still working, and it cut them out perfectly. And like I said, it's on light cardstock, and it was just 8.5 by 11 sheet. So it took to make 3 flags, 2 sheets of white cardstock. So once it's done, I went ahead and I peeled it away. One thing I have learned from the past is if you have like really thin cardstock, you want to take it off almost immediately after cutting, because otherwise it'll stick to the mat and then it'll rip on your way of pulling it up. So you want to do this as quickly after it's done, at least if it's the cheaper, thinner cardstock paper. And definitely if it's construction paper you're cutting. So with a little pin, I went ahead and I lifted up all the letters. Now I tried using my fingernails at first, and I actually ended up damaging the corners of the letters, so I don't suggest that. You should definitely use something sharp or pointy to pull up those letters. So here I am doing my flag, and you couldn't tell at the top, but I made a marking right at the center end of it, and then I just, with my, I don't know what this tool is, but it marks the paper with pressure. And I mean, you could do it with a pencil, you can do it with anything, but it works perfectly because it creases the paper, and I'm able to fold it. See how easy that is? So I folded back the excess pieces, and the reason why I folded them back was because this is construction paper, and construction paper is significantly thinner than cardstock paper, and I knew I wanted to have a little bit of sturdiness to this as much as I could, because I didn't want it to be just floppy and not staying up like a flag. So once I did that and I had it in the right shape, I went ahead and at the ends I marked, gosh, I don't know what that is. Is it, it's a 1/4 inch total, and I tried to make it thinner, and it actually worked better. So the total excess material that I took off the end was a 1/4 inch. And I went ahead and I taped the back. So this is a prop, and I'm not too worried about the back. Nobody's really going to see it. If your kids are flipping it, you might want to take the time to maybe do another triangle and then glue those together. It would also make it sturdier. But for my project at least, I just figured it was enough with the folded material that I had in the back for sturdiness. So you can see me folding over the edges in the side so that I can tape my little skewer stick to it. Now the skewer sticks, because my flag is 10 by 6 inches, it's kind of a pretty good size. It's not little. So the skewer stick doesn't have to go all the way to the top, and it can go kind of like to the middle of it and still have enough sturdiness to hold up the flag and not have the construction paper flip-flop. And another thing I learned is that you should definitely tape it at the bottom and kind of at the top at least, because otherwise it'll kind of move around and it'll make the flag kind of flop around. So definitely add more tape than I did when adding your skewer stick. So once you roll the edge over, you can go ahead. I just taped it. Like I said, I'm not too concerned with how the back looks, mostly how the front looks, but if you wanted to, you could definitely make another flag out of construction paper and just glue it and hide all of this tape and make it definitely sturdier. So this is my flag. Now I go ahead and I glue the back material down just so that it doesn't have kind of like a gap between it. And then I line up my cutout of my letters from the cardstock. Now this pencil is actually a fabric white pencil. I'm sure you could use like a pencil, but I found that it was way too light and I couldn't really see it, at least not in the lighting of where I'm working. So if your room isn't so well lit, I would definitely recommend a white pencil. So I go ahead and I trace the letters, and you can tell I didn't like how far away the Y was, so I kind of shifted it just a smidge and then try to reline it up. But when I did that, unfortunately my preschool was angled a little and I didn't realize it until after I was done. But just some details for you to keep in mind when you're doing this. So you can see I'm tracing top and bottom just because I want to know exactly where my letters are supposed to go and not shift them or angle them. So here's my preschool words. Like I said, if it's one whole piece, it is so much easier versus individual letters at one time. I just use my kids' glue because it's all I had. There might be fancier glues or maybe some spray glues that will make this go quicker, but this is all I had, and I was just a quick, easy project before their photo shoot. So I know that this purple glue is going to disappear, so I wasn't too concerned if it was on top of the letters. I just kind of wiped it off with my fingers. So see the part of preschool that is all together in cursive, it was so much easier rather than individual letters. And each letter I feel like kind of shifted a little, and I really do suggest maybe you do cursive or definitely have a ruler. I didn't, and I feel like I should have, just a little to help me out. But the finished products were pretty cute, and I got one for each child. I had planned on purchasing them at Michael's. They were selling some for 99 cents, but they did not sell them in my local Michael store, so that's why I ended up making these. And they turned out really cute. I really like them. Easy project. I hope you guys like. Thanks for watching.